We live.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and hopefully not boys and girls for this one because this is a mature show. This is rated R. Bloody fights tonight. Well, Saturday unification, nice card, some prospects, figuring out the 140 weight class, figuring out the 135 weight class, getting a prospect, seeing how he's going to come up. It's an exciting night of fights. I got Germ So True, the Germ Stros, whatever you want to call them tonight. I don't know
For
what we're gonna
sure.
call them, but hey, man, holla at the people, man.
Yo, look, we gonna cover this card right quick for y'all because the fight's gonna be starting in about a half an hour.
Yeah,
We're gonna cover these fights right quick for you, give you some quick things to look for, some quick predictions, and then we probably gonna come back at y'all and again in a minute. Got some more stuff to cover. So just know when you on the scene now tonight, you are between the rounds with the couple guys that are there in the crew. Shouts out to the rest of the crew that couldn't make it tonight. Obviously, it's Sweeties Day. And as you see, me and Artie don't got no sweeties. So with that being said,
whatever that is. Back to the fights. Yeah, this is not gonna be sweet at all. Sweet science maybe, but we're back to the fights. I want to start off. Obviously, we'll get to the Lomachenko Lopez fight. That's the main event, and that'll be the main event of the show. But we'll start off with something that's a little bit quicker. We're going to talk about Edgar Berlanga and he's risen to maybe the same thing that Teofimo Lopez was doing, knocking everybody out. 14-0, 14 knockouts. He's fighting tonight, and the first card or the first fight of the main card, he's fighting against Linnell Bellows. And I just say, man, right now, what Top Rank is doing with Berlanga, they're building him up, same way that they did with Teofimo. He will have a little bit of a test today, but man, he's destructive. He has power. He's got quick hands. He probably will get the job done. This is a middleweight division fight. Prospect coming up. He'll probably get the job done. We know how it is in boxing when prospects come up and they're doing very well, knocking everybody out. Their promotion kind of tries to save them, kind of tries to, let them eat first and build a claim to fame before throwing them into the fire. And this isn't a throw into a fire fight yet for Belanga. So I predict with this fight, it's an 8-round fight to start the card off. Probably going to get an electrifying knockout. And probably this will be his best opponent to date, but this will probably end in the same way as his other 14 fights, all by knockout. That's where I see it going. I don't know if Germ has any thoughts to that one. That'll be the first fight on the main card for tonight.
we're giving a prediction now too.
Yeah, if you want to. It's the first fight.
Um,
Eight round fight, and big knockout kid in Berlanga, 14-0, 14.
um, I'm gonna actually go with Berlanga as well. I think in it's anytime you get middleweight, the super middleweights, and you see those guys that have power with the good combination of hand quickness as well, you normally get the better fighter, the guy who has the hand quickness and the power normally wins the fight. Um, I don't think Bellows has a chance tonight. I think this might be 4 or 5 rounds. I don't think it goes the whole 8. Give me Berlanga.
Right. Man, so I'm with you there. I'm with you there all the way. The next fight in the super lightweight division, 140 pounds. That division is a good division. It has two champions with two belts apiece, and they're probably going to fight to be undisputed sometime early next year. And Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez. But after that, we have guys that are trying to make again their claim to fame and get into the position to become the champion after. Both guys will probably go to 147 after that fight. They'll probably stop fighting at 140 and they'll move up. And we have guys like Baranchik and Cepeda that fought last week and to a fight with 8 knockdowns and a knockout. And now tonight we have a fight between Alex Salcedo versus Arnold Barbosa Jr. This is another fight that, again, you have two guys that need to win a fight to get maybe a championship fight early next year after the titles are dropped by whoever wins that fight, the undisputed fight at 140. Salcedo had some problems, struggled with defense. In his last fight, he fought against Sonny Fredrickson, Ohio native, and he outboxed him. And we all thought that Fredrickson was going to outbox Salcedo. Salcedo switched trainers, outboxed Fredrickson, and put on a brilliant performance. Barbosa is another guy that's pretty technically sound. I say this fight goes the distance. This fight for me is the one that I'm having the hardest time picking. But seeing Salcedo having a new trainer and this being his only second fight under him, yes, he fought amazing against Fredrickson in the last fight. Yes, he boxed well. Yes, he mixed it up. Yes, he punched the combinations. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him do more of that today. But two fights, fighting against an opponent of Barbosa's quality, I'm going to give the edge to Barbosa in a close fight. I wouldn't be surprised. Again, this is a fight that I've had a hard time picking. I wouldn't be surprised if Salcedo wins, but just Barbosa already coming up on a more technically sound style of boxing and Salcedo kind of trying to convert to that. I think Barbosa has the upper hand in experience with that style. And I think that experience will weigh big in a fight of two guys that are really needing a win. I mean, Fredrickson, with all due respect, is a good boxer, long, lengthy, range, has a nice jab. He can move around the ring pretty well. But at the same time, Sonny Fredrickson doesn't have the projection of Salcedo. He doesn't have the projection of Barbosa, where they win the fight, they're in a championship fight. With all due respect, he's in a different conversation. So again, this fight is a fight for your life. I mean, really, it's a fight to separate. Are you going to keep making $50,000? Are you going to be making $250,000? That's this fight. Which level are you going to be on? This is life changing for these guys. And with that being said, they're both going to be focused. I'm going to give it to the dude that's just done it longer. I'm going Barbosa. Probably split decision, majority decision, close fight, all 12 rounds for me.
It says here 10 rounds. Is it 12?
Or 10. My bad. 10. You are right. You are correct.
I'm actually going to go against you on this one, Artie. Give me Salcedo on this one. I think this goes the distance, but I think the further it goes, I think it actually favors him. Because in these type of situations, when you're the veteran fighter, you want to come in and get some of these guys out of there. You kind of want to come in and you kind of want to come to dominate them and establish your dominance early. I think that this guy has the ability to stick with him, but not only that, I just think overall, even with him, even the other guy being technically sound, can we say that it's like a substantial difference between the two fighters?
Not at this moment.
If there's no substantial difference, then it becomes like a preference fight. Which guy do you prefer? And then the longer the fight goes, I think it goes for Alex in this case. So give me Alex in a 10 round bout. I think this is going to be probably the fight of the night, though. Give me this as the fight of the night. I think that this goes the full 10, and I think if it comes down to the zebras, I think he's gonna. I think it's just gonna be him. I don't ask me why. I just you just see when you see these type of fights, especially when one guy is maybe like a step up on the ladder a little bit more than the other.
Right.
It's always down to which guy lands their punches better, which guy lands the combinations better, and everything else like that. And which guy is going to score the points? Which guy is going to go to the body? Which guy is gonna be able to catch maybe a knockdown or two? I just think that this Alex kid has enough to get it done tonight in 10 rounds with neither one of these guys hitting the canvas. I think we're just going to have a solid ass match tonight. Solid ass boxing, great hands. Hand speed is about even. So it's not like it's too many things, reaction, everything. Give me Alex. Give me Alex and team.
Right. And this is going to be such a close fight. It's going to be a momentum fight. After the first 2 rounds, don't pick your winner because it's not over. If Barbosa wins the first 2 rounds, if Salcedo wins the first 2 rounds, the next 3 rounds can go the other way. And after the 5th round, if you have somebody up 4-1, don't pick a winner because this fight can just hop back and forth. Momentum is going to be key in this fight. Again, a good fight, and as highly anticipated as the main event is, as Germ said, this could be fight of the night. This could just be a nice boxing lesson to every casual fan that just wants to see Lopez and Lomachenko and has a fight on. This will be a nice boxing lesson for all of those fans and how to actually do it. Now, talking about boxing lessons, we're going to go to the main event right now. Talking about boxing lessons, we have maybe the best pound for pound fighter in the world right now in Vasily Lomachenko. Ukrainian, two-time gold medalist, three different weight class champion, the WBO, the WBA champion of the world. I know they're going to call him WBC. He's a franchise champion. I'm not going to call him that. I feel like it's a little disrespectful, but it is what it is. They're going to say whoever wins is undisputed. I don't agree, but it is what it is. But technician, they call him high tech when he first came in. They call him the Matrix. Now he's facing Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez was a prospect. He's 15-0. I mean, Lomachenko's 14-1, but Lomachenko is 32 years old. He got into the pro game late. Teofimo Lopez is 23, 15-0, and 12 knockouts, I believe. And Teofimo, he's on the rise to stardom. And if he wins tonight, he's not going to be the best pound for pound boxer in the world, even if he dethrones Lomachenko. He's still going to have to show us more, but he might be one of the biggest stars in boxing if he wins tonight. With all that said, these styles, I think in terms of what we see every day and what we portray boxing to be sometimes, we're going to look at this as the boxer against the puncher. Me personally, I think both of these guys can box. Both of these guys have IQ. Both of these guys can move. One can do better than the other in all of these boxes that we check. Lopez probably has more natural power. He's a bigger 135 pounder, where Lomachenko, he's naturally smaller. Lomachenko is a natural 126 pound fighter. And Lopez is 23 at 135. He'll probably throughout his career maybe even touch 154. So this is just different. But Lomachenko, left-handed, use angles, awkward fighter, jumping in and out. He's in front of your face. He hits you 5 times. You thought he was in front of your face. He's behind you. You can't touch him. This is an interesting fight. Lopez, his IQ was not that great when I saw him about 5-6 fights ago, but the way he's setting his punches up now, the way he's timing guys now, sometimes that timing can beat the quickness. And it's just a matter of whose style works better tonight. Disclaimer, Lomachenko is my favorite fighter in the world. I'm going to let Germ go before we give our predictions, but I just want to give that disclaimer right now.
So here's the thing about Lomachenko. When you watch him fight, who does he kind of remind you of?
It's a lot of guys. I mean, Whitaker could be one.
He gives you a Pacquiao vibe with Mayweather's footwork.
Yeah, Pacquiao. Yep, could be one.
Mayweather's footwork is the greatest we've ever seen. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that. Some people may disagree with that, but I'm gonna say Mayweather's footwork is the greatest I've ever seen. If I have to pick a fighter based on what I'm looking at in a fight like this,
right,
Lomachenko is the person you're gonna pick naturally. It's not anything against Lopez. It's just, again, defense sometimes is your best offense, especially when you're fighting bigger guys, especially when you're normally the smaller fighter. You need to be able to stick and move, get in and get out. Make sure that you land your punches and those type of things. The thing about this fight that makes it interesting is does Lopez have the speed to be able to connect a couple of those big punches that we're going to need in order for us to slow Lomachenko down?
Right.
You're going to have to hit him about 3 or 4 times. That's going to have to make us say, ooh, like that. You're going to have to make the cringe hits. Like, oh, that's deep. And then another thing, how good is Lopez at going to the body? With smaller fighters, especially the guys that are elite with moving around in the ring, you have to take their legs, which means you have to take their oxygen, which means you have to go to the body. If you allow Lomachenko to move around that ring, Lopez will not win tonight. It just won't happen. I don't think the head movement, body movement, footwork. That's the order. Head movement, body movement, footwork. If you got good footwork, 9 out of 10 times your shoulders follow and your head follows. It's
Right.
just how it goes because they all come in sync together. That's the old-fashioned rope technique. You get everything in sync right there. And that's why I'm doing it right now so y'all understand. Oh, I know about the rope. Now, I'm gonna go first, Artie. Give me Lobachenko tonight. I think he wins, and I think it's very decisive. I think when I say very decisive, I think we got this is a 12-round fight.
Yeah.
Bro, if it doesn't get stopped in the 10th round, I think he wins about 8 out of the 12.
8 out of 12.
8 out of 12, man.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go out and say this fight can go so many ways, and the reason why is because Lomachenko can fight so many different styles. He can't just, he you can call him a boxer puncher, you can call him a counter puncher, you can call him an aggressive, you can call him a controlled Manny Pacquiao. You can call him Manny Manuel Marquez. You can call him whatever you want. He can fight so many different styles.
And then I didn't even say nothing about him being a southpaw. Those is the most annoying fighters.
Right. And here's another key to the southpaw thing. He's actually right-handed.
So
The
he does
reason
it on purpose.
the reason why he's a southpaw, and some guys have tried this out, is because their right hand is their stronger hand, so they use it as their lead hand to have a stronger jab, and then you get to put all movement with your waist and your hips into a punch from your backhand that it makes your left hand strong, so you have two strong hands.
Artie,
It's unbelievable.
you putting this, the more you put this out there to the people, I think the people are even gonna pick Lomachenko.
Right. And there's sometimes that his feet are like right next to each other, like he's a stand-up stance and he's knocking dudes down with the right hand, with the right hook or something like that, because his right hand is the natural hand.
Dominant. Yep.
Yeah, so me personally, I've never seen Lomachenko want to punish somebody more. So I don't, if Lomachenko has a chance to knock him out, I'm sure he will. If he has a chance to knock him out in the third round, he will. But I do think Lomachenko just wants to punch this guy. And I think that this fight goes a good amount of rounds, more than 6, and hopefully it goes the distance. And I think Lomachenko, after the third round, fourth round, Lopez, if you didn't land anything or if you land something by then, it's not hurting this man. You're in for a long night, man. And this is what I say about Lomachenko all the time. It's not that he has power. It's not that he has power. It's that he can punch you from angles and you don't see him and you return fire and you can't hit him, and he can punch you in 60 times in 2 minutes. That's not it. It has nothing. Sometimes it has nothing to do with power. It's just annoying. Why you're questioning yourself, like, why am I here? What am I doing here getting punched 10 times in 15 seconds? And I don't even know where this guy is at. Should I just fall down because I don't want to do this no more? He's made 4 or 5 different guys quit. So this is what it is with Lomachenko. He's just brilliant at what he does. Being the smaller guy, that's the only advantage Lopez has today, and the power. But Lomachenko being the smaller guy is the only advantage Lopez has today. I will go a step further and say if it goes 12 rounds, I think Lomachenko wins 9 or 10. I think he wins 9 or 10, and I think he
I
wins
don't
them.
think I don't think it's a chance
And
that dude
the
wins.
ones that he does lose, it's going to be rounds that he takes off. It might be early rounds. It's like, Floyd used to give the guys the first 2 rounds, figure them out. Lomachenko is one of those same type of fighters. Download the data, give him a couple rounds. I think if Lopez wins rounds, it's going to be rounds Lomachenko gave him.
It might be like round 2, round 8, maybe round 12.
Right. It's going to be rounds that Lomachenko gives him. But I see Lomachenko winning very, very decisively. If this just goes how the film shows it will go, I have him winning probably, maybe even all the rounds. But I'm just going to say for sure, just because it's a lot easier, 10 rounds today. 10 rounds.
That right there is the show for you guys. The scene. We got between the rounds. Again, we're gonna have more fights coming up as well.
Right.
This is Germ. This is Artie. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll be in and out throughout the night, man. Just make sure you guys come and kick it with us between the rounds. That's the name of the Facebook group. Come join it. Come be a part of it, and come be a part of our culture here at the scene.